Oh yeah. I forgot it changed. Hello, everyone. Let me fix this. Hello, professional. I am a professional. Yes. Hello, everyone. Forgot I changed my camera thing, so you get to see me do this live. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Hello. There's my forehead. There we go. This is fantastic. Hello. How you guys doing? You guys doing all right today? Yes. I am professional 100%. There you go. Oh, all my other cameras are going to be all screwed up. This is fantastic. But yes, hello everyone. How are you doing today? We are live, as you see back here. We got everything going. I got some new lightings. I got all this stuff. But we are here to do a Joe's Corner live. I'm joined by one of my favorite streamers. I'm going to switch over now, giving him a heads up. Cough, cough. Hello! Hello, sir.
Favorite streamer, eh?
Yeah, one of my favorite streamers.
That's a compliment I can live by.
Yeah, man, you're so positive. I love, actually, listening to you and watching you. Plus, you have, one of the best communities I've seen, I'm not gonna lie. So, they're, so supportive, man.
That warms my heart.
So, for those who don't know, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them what you're about. Tell them everything.
Why, hello. My name is Refuse, and I go also by the name of Refuse on social medias, like, Twitch, gaming platforms, etc. But my real name is Benjamin. I'll basically started out doing more, live streams because of the ongoing pandemic, and I just wanted something to, do and have something exciting to do while I'm, sitting here waiting for better opportunities, basically. If you want to know more about me, I'm a Swedish guy. I live here in Sweden currently. I had big plans to, eventually move to Japan, but that has basically been delayed because of COVID. And so, yeah, I'm just, sitting here and enjoying what I have currently.
So, well, since we're talking about how COVID affected you, how 2021 treat you? How did that go for you overall?
Well, let me tell you a story.
Already with the stories. Let's go on for this. Let's go.
No, but 2020 hasn't really been all that great. It's more like as I said, I had big plans to move to Japan, but literally 5 days before my flight departure, I was basically denied of entrance because they closed the borders. So I had to do something else in the meantime while I'm sitting here and waiting. So yeah, a lot of stuff went down during 2020 that made me feel, it wasn't the greatest of a year, but yeah, I'm trying to stay positive either way, because it's 2022 now and there's new hope for the horizon.
Yeah, there's new hope everywhere as the year goes on. Well, are there any things you hope that happen in 2022? I mean, obviously, going to Japan is one of them. Was there anything else that
Well, not really, in a way. I mean, I do want my live streams, etc., to take off a little bit, and I'm also gonna probably do some more YouTube content moving forward. But yeah, it's mainly really Japan, and hopefully going there, and that I will be able to do more stuff with my streams moving forward as well. For example, building a awesome community, having more people join, and just create a place for my friends to be. And my community is not about me. It's about everyone, really. And I just want to spread love and happiness, really.
Well, I mean, you're doing that. You just gotta look at it, because like I said, every time I come in, your community is always active. They're always trash talking you out of love. Out of love, they trash talk you. But they're always so giving towards what you do, and they're always there to support you, whether it be from DBZ or League which you're doing great, by the way, the other night. Or, you know, like anything you do, especially like when it comes to podcasts, they're very, how do I say, very receptive to it. And so that's one thing that stands out.
Yeah, I mean, my podcast has basically been my proudest project of recent time. I really love to do it, and it's been something, you know, it's like a, you know, end of the week, something I really look forward to. And yeah, it's something I'm really proud of, you know, doing, because it gives me so much joy, honestly. But yeah.
So, I know you were talking about IRL streams, well, in your chat and so on and so forth. Can you go into more detail, because you've been hinting at doing stuff, and I'm curious. Are you gonna get like the what is it, the streamer backpack that everyone has, or are you gonna do how I do it, which is with this little tripod right here, and then walk around like this the whole time?
No, so I'm actually gonna go like a completely different route. I'm actually gonna. So I recently got like a new phone that I'm gonna be using for IRL content, and that phone is. I'm actually gonna, you know, kind of have it. So you have seen these IRL backpacks before when they have a camera mounted to the side of their shoulder. Mm-hmm. Instead of, you know, having a proper camera, I'm gonna have, you know, like my phone instead. Because with a phone, I don't necessarily need to have all this extra equipment with me. Like, for example, a big router, big power banks, capture cards for the camera, and, you know, having like a mini PC to encode the stream, etc., to, you know, send it off to a ingest server that you host or somewhere else to the cloud before, you know, gets processed by like YouTube or Twitch. Mm-hmm. You can technically already do everything with a phone, and that's the only thing I will need is like a power bank. And then with the phone, I can, you know, connect the extra microphone if I wish to. And that, you know, will be so more lightweight in terms of, you know, the equipment I need to carry around. And I mean, phone cameras are getting better and better nowadays, and you can, you know, really get away with it. There are some cameras out there in phones that can really do like proper video at nighttime now. Mm. So yeah, that's the plan. I'm gonna be like having two phones with me and have one for the set and one for like the camera, and act as an encoder, you know, and does all the processing. And then it basically sends it to my PC, like a local host PC, and then, you know, my OBS encodes and, you know, transcode and everything, and sends it off to Wix. Really.
So alright, so sidebar. I know this is not part of the questions that I got here, but how do you find all this stuff, okay? Like, because I do my research, I have to like go bounce off my mods or like the more technical people. For the not as technical people, such as myself, how do you end up finding this stuff? Do you just go to YouTube and be like, I want to do this, and then see what comes up, or do you also bounce it off other people and see what they say?
Honestly speaking, I usually go to YouTube first to like look for solutions that people be using. Or like the second round is actually just, you know, do a Google search and literally add Reddit to it, like the question. And then, you know, just go through like 100 comments suggesting stuff. And then, you know, try to build your own solution to the problem, and yeah, really do a awesome job with it. When I'm get like interested in something, I really want to learn it to the fullest, and really try to make it as best as I can, and to a reasonable effort, I guess.
Oh no, that's understandable. You're like me, but I guess we have two different things. It's everyone's different on how they approach things. So for me, I want to be. I want to do the best I can. I want to bring a loving community, just like you. I'm here to make people laugh. I'm here to, just bring a smile to people's faces. Whether it be, as some people say, as I'm loud and be funny. I have different approaches to it. But when it comes to the equipment aspect, I'm always looking to upgrade because I have an older computer. I think this is about maybe 6 years old. And I'm not running the most up-to-date equipment. So when I look for newer stuff like webcams or let's say to add on a third monitor or something like that, I'm trying to keep in the realm. So I'm always like bouncing ideas off of people, or I'm always trying to like dig in. Also, while I have a chance, intermission here for it when I edit it. Thank you, Ravioli, for the follow. I appreciate. And afternoon, Pop. How are you doing today, bud? But when it comes to that, I have trouble because I'm not the most technical person. Like, I know how to do it. Like, people at work lean on me and how to turn the computer off and turn it back on because apparently they know how to do that. But I'm always looking for new ways to improve, just like you. But I Jimmy rig it, as you can see in the back corner here, on how I do some things. So there's some experimental stuff in the works.
Indeed.
So,
and I mean, that's fine. You learn your own way. I just happen to have like a big interest into electronic hobbies. Like, for example, building computers, learning, the ins and out of like hardware, and like how cameras work. I have like a big interest in camera photography and like the cinematography world, and it's just a passion that I have, and that passion goes into my streaming as well, trying to deliver like a high quality stream. And that's something that I try to make as a way of trying to be like, yeah, you should look at me instead, because I have a cough professional stream.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, we're both professionals. Just like how you saw me start, man. All you saw was the corner, because I forgot if you change the resolution of one part of the whole stream or a whole part of OBS, it does it for everything. It just completely slipped my mind, because professional. So,
but it's like an ongoing joke for me, because I try to make everything look as good as it possibly can, and I end up having weird moments where I'm like, I know that this should work, but it doesn't. And that's like the streamer mentality. Like, things break on you.
Oh yeah, all the time.
For the weirdest reasons. Like, I have like hundreds of like different overlays, etc., and browser sources in my setup, and sometimes just something breaks and doesn't work for the stream, and you sit there like, thank you, I appreciate it. Here I am trying to be professional, and that's where the meme gets born. As soon as something isn't working, the chat is spamming like, yeah, this is a professional moment right here.
Like I said, man, your community. I've been there for some of them, but your community. I gotta shout out to Waffles, all right? Because every time, I just gotta specifically shout out Waffles for that, because it gets me every time. Because they always have the good emotes to follow with it too. It just it makes me laugh every time. But you did bring up photography. Do you do that on the side? Like, do you have like a DSLR camera and stuff like that?
Well, I do have like a Canon M50. It's like a mirrorless camera, but I haven't really been using it that actively. I mainly use it as a camera for the stream nowadays.
Because that was my follow-up question. I was like, so if you don't use it, where is it?
Yeah, it's the one that you literally see right now. And it's like standing on my PC at the moment. And I use it as a streaming cam. Because I don't really have any interesting projects to make me actually bring the camera with me. If I ever were to take photos or film anything, that would usually be with my phone instead, because I literally have it with me everywhere I go. But I literally bought the camera for the sole purpose of documenting my trip to Japan. And yeah, I never got there. So yeah, now I use it as a streaming cam.
Well, not yet. It's coming. We all know it's coming. It's just whenever they open the borders back up. But it's coming. We all know, and we all want you to go. So it's gonna happen. Don't you worry about that. So
let's pray.
So when you get there, what are your plans? Well, let me go to the actual question I have laid out here. You mentioned trying to move to Japan. Why, how, and what are your plans once you get there?
So, like the initial thought about even moving to Japan, like, yeah, this struck me as a good idea. What the hell are you thinking? Why Japan? Well, I've basically, during the recent years, been surrounded by people, awesome friends, etc. that, you know, either A, actually been to Japan, or B, has a strong interest in Japan. So there's been like a friendship where, you know, we talk about, you know, the pop culture of Japan and like the language behind it and everything. And like so I have friends that have been living there, and they've been, you know, sharing the stories about, you know, living abroad. And I just been so what's the word? I really felt like those experience is something that I myself would want to have in life. So I was really getting invested into potentially, oh yeah, this might actually be something that I want to do. So in 2017, I had my first trip to Japan ever. And it was actually the first trip that I paid out of my own pocket. I had basically been saving up a little bit, and I went to see my friend and his wife. I were in Japan for 3 weeks in Tokyo, and, you know, going around these neighborhoods, and I absolutely loved it. It felt like home in a way. And it felt so, like, weird, you know? I had this weird feeling that I belong here, you know? And it was almost a little bit scary how home it felt. Because when I went back, you know, home, you know, it felt like I was leaving something behind. And that's when it struck me that I really wanted to move there. So in 2018 and 2019, I basically start prepping. I saved up a lot of cash. I had 2 jobs. I was basically working overtime, you know, trying to save up money. And then I went on like meetings, you know, preparing, booking stuff, you know, working towards this goal of, yeah, I have a set date or like set time frame. I'm gonna be moving in 2020. No one would have predicted COVID, but I had the sad like it was literally 5 days before my flight departure where they canceled everything on me. I had everything like really planned out, and I was so ready to go. And then, stuff happened, and I was not allowed to go. And then I felt really bad about it because it was actually a goal I was working towards. And yeah, seeing that goal just, slowly disappearing from your vision, you're like unable to even capture it. Even though how hard you work for it, it doesn't matter. So I felt really bad about that. But now in 2022, I really do hope that I eventually get a chance this year. Otherwise, I'm being actually considering dropping it entirely. Because I can't just, sit here, wait, and to try to expect something to happen that might not even happen. Because the worst part of everything has been that I can't plan my life. I can't plan the foreseeable future because I'm waiting on potentially doing something. Potentially, it's not likely that I would get, away. So I'm just sitting here and I can't really, decide on what to do. And that's the biggest struggle, really.
So, I would hold out personally because that's one of my dreams. You already know. We've talked about it. I want to go to Japan too. And like I said, I had plans. 2020. We're gonna party in the new year into 2021. We already had all that stuff set aside. We had hotels ready to go, and then COVID, COVID happened, so that didn't happen on my end. But as time went on, I started looking into alternative routes, like maybe even moving there. And then with, shooting some ideas off of some people I know, we found very affordable options. Like 1 LDK in Okinawa, about maybe a mile from the beach, for $120 a month USD. And then it has like a, and the one person that I shot one of the ideas off of, he's sitting there saying who didn't have plans for 2020. Exactly, he had plans to go too. But I'd say just hold out a little bit longer. You have a stronger will than most people I know. I will say that, because honestly, I would have been devastated. Like, beyond devastated.
Well, that's the thing. I was. It's been like 2 whole years at this point, almost. So, I'm not as devastated as I was, like, when it actually initially happened. Because there's also some other things that happen in the same time frame. Some really personal stuff that I kind of don't want to touch on. But yeah, there's been like multiple things that really dragged me down. So, I mean, I'm doing much better now. Trust me. If you saw me then, well, oh boy, send help. But yeah, 2020, I know that a lot of people have been having issues with it. There's so many people out there that have had plans. And yeah, I'm not the only one in that boat. I know people that's probably gone through like worse experience. I mean, it's probably a good thing that I, could not go. Imagine if I were to go there like a week prior to them closing down. I mean, you cannot do anything really in Tokyo. Like everything was closed due to the pandemic in the beginning, and some schools closed down as well, but mine didn't really. But how fun would it be to spend 1 year in Japan, where something that you've been really looking forward to, but you basically can't do anything because of the ongoing situation. So, in a way, I guess I'm lucky. So, that's looking on the positive side.
Well, what I was gonna say is, you bounced back from that point, which is like amazing itself. Because if it was me, it would have hit me a lot longer. Because I would have never thought, well, I got time to kill. I need to stream, or I could start streaming, or I could do this, that, and third. I'd probably be in that corner over there still, even at 2 years later, and I'd probably still be, sad and depressed. Because that itself, you bouncing back, is amazing. I just want you to know that, because it's one of the things that you don't see a lot of people do, and it proves how strong your character is and how positive of a mindset you have. Especially since you're like, I want to make people happy. I just want to make them laugh. I want to have a good community. That right there shows a good character for yourself, or shows good character. I'm trying to use words here, but it doesn't work half the time.
Words are hard.
Words are very hard. So let's.
Yeah, I do appreciate you for saying that.
Hey, man, it's true. It honestly is true.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that the reason I was even able to bounce back is because of being surrounded by the most amazing friends. Friends that have been there listening to me and refused the fence build meta. No, but seriously, just being surrounded by those amazing friends that I have and been willing to listen to me, basically, being annoying, and they, still stick around, and that's the sole reason as to why I was even able to bounce back. I just wanted to point it out for the people that are watching. It's not just my entire willpower. My willpower came literally from my awesome friends. The awesome phrase called "friendship is magic."
Friendship is key. Friendship is power. So, moral of the story is, from both of us, thank you, friends. We appreciate you, especially being here and supporting us. We really do appreciate you.
Even though you can be an ass sometimes.
I was waiting for you know who you are.
No, but we can talk about that later in the episode. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. We'll get there. So let's backpedal a little bit here. So you talked about IRL stream, and I know you plan on doing test runs in your neck of the woods. Is there anywhere specific you want to do this at? Because if it was me, I'd want to try it at a flea market or at a festival or something like that. Is there any plans on your end to do something like that?
Well, that kind of depends on because we are kind of going into another. So, Sweden hasn't really had a lockdown. It's probably one of those countries in the world that haven't really had a lockdown. But we had restrictions instead. And there's been few more restrictions again in regards to the new variant of the coronavirus. So there are some events getting cancelled. One of them being Narcon. Narcon is a Swedish geek/cosplay festival, basically. A lot of people go, so it's like a convention, but it's not your typical convention. Our convention are more friends are going in groups, meeting up, gathering, and just having a good time. It's more like, a place for everyone to meet up and share common interest. It's not as much of the way the USA basically does it with their conventions. Our conventions are basically more laid back and relaxed. And it's a really nice experience to be on like Narcon or some other places here in the Nordics. But I was gonna plan on doing like IRL content, record stuff for that event. But that event has been pushed back a little bit. And they're still waiting for like more updates, but yeah, we're gonna know in like a week or so if it's gonna get completely cancelled again. Because we haven't had like a convention since this thing started. So yeah, there's that.
So I understand the no convention thing since the thing started, because at the beginning of 2020, there Ichiban Con. So I got like 2 conventions a year. Ichiban Con and Animazement. Animazement's the biggest one in our state, and it's like end of May going into June. And then Ichiban's at the very beginning of the year. Their thing before was partying the New Year as the anime convention while things happen and they can't do it anymore. So to do it like the first or second week of January. So at the very beginning of the year. So we got to go to that. And then as soon as we finished Ichiban, that's when everything went into lockdown. That's when everything started getting canceled. So I got to at least start 2020 at a con and like do all that. But for 2 years, didn't do anything until, what was it, last week? Yeah, last week. And it was great. But when I went, you could feel there was something missing. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was, everyone not being close. Maybe it's the not smelling everyone. You know how there's that con smell because people don't understand that Axe is not a bathing, thing. Or I don't know. Maybe it was a lack of vendors. There was just something missing. We did have a lot of fun. I did enjoy it, but I don't know how to put it. I think it's like you can sense the new change because everyone's not as close as they used to be, or not as many people were cosplaying because of the mask restriction, or something along those lines. I don't know how to put it. And
yeah, but I totally get you. The feeling just wasn't there. Like, I guess you had like a sense of worry as well, because a lot of people in a big social gathering, even though you sometimes might not think that you care, but I mean, as you said, people are not being as close. I mean, before people would literally run up to each other, giving big fat hugs. I would assume you didn't see that as much.
Yeah, I didn't see the free hug guy walking around or anything like that. But
oh, that's cringe. People not going to cons also would decrease the numbers. How many decided to not go because 1, fear of COVID, 2, cannot wear a mask for various of reasons. Yeah. I mean, some people may have legit reason to wear a mask, but most of them probably don't, to be fair.
Yeah, no, there's a small amount of people that can't wear masks, and I work with a couple of them. They medically cannot wear masks because either it makes them throw up or something. There's a whole spew of reasons, but there's also a lot of people that say it's impeding my rights, and I don't know how it's impeding on your rights. But that's a whole different topic for another thing.
Yeah, we should probably not go in.
That's a whole different
politics and talks.
But when it comes to, I think another thing was I was worried. But not because of COVID. I was more worried about the con crud. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Whether it be from the flu or I heard stories of pink eye being a thing at one con in the United States, which is very concerning. Then it's just there's that kind of thing. But I will say there was a surge of brand new people that went to the con because for the first time I've been going since 2014, so I've been going a long time. This is the first time ever they sold out online. They sold out like tickets online, which was mind-blowing. So there was a lot of people, but there was still respectable space. Like I said, I don't know. But I was gonna say, I'm curious though. Is there like any towns you would walk through and have the IRL camera set up, go through? Because that's something I would like to see. Because me personally, I like looking at towns in other countries or people just walking through, or stuff like that. Just casually walking through, and you end up in a pawn shop, or you end up in a farmer's market or something like that. I just personally like that. I don't know if that was an idea you thought pondering. That way you can at least test your equipment out, and so you know how to work kinks out.
Well, I do live in quite a big city, so I do have a lot of stuff that I can do. I was considering doing potentially biking tours where I just literally bike around town and just taking it chill, potentially playing some Pokemon Go in the near future, streaming and playing the game at the same time. But other than that, I'm more excited about to share my experience with something that's completely new for me. Trying to feel excited about something that you've been around for years is pretty hard.
Yeah.
If I were to, for example, go to Japan and just start exploring, I would have much more energy in to showcase, and that shows in how entertaining you are as a streamer as well. But yeah, it's mostly me. So I really were planning on doing a lot of content, vlogging, streaming, everything in that regards when I was going to Japan. Literally the reason why I got my camera in the first place. But yeah, I've been thinking about potentially going to other bigger cities in here in Sweden at least, places that I don't really visit all that often to get a new view and a new experience to really show some form of some form of excitement.
Yeah. See, that's what I do. I try to, because in my town, I live in a college town, so there's only so much excitement that could be shown. Because oh boy, the moment the college kids find out you're on Twitch or doing some live streaming thing, they think you're Mr. Beast, and then they'll run up to you and they'll think you have money. It's very awkward. But yeah, I mean, I do live in a town where Mr. Beast lives, so it kind of does make things a little bit harder on the smaller folks. But yes, right. So the idea is you move on out and go somewhere different. Because I would love, the plan for me is, which I gotta reschedule it. I do plan on going to a flea market sometime soon and doing an IRL stream. I do have the equipment. I got some power banks set aside. I already got them bought. I got, I have tripods and stuff. I have things ready to do this. And I would love to show me, because I don't know what it was. I enjoyed it when I went around a con and did the live stream. And I love the fact that if I have a cameraman, they can show me haggling. I don't know why. I just thought I feel like it'd be cool. But
yeah, I mean it's a lot easier to do IRL streams if you're at least two people. You can help each other out, read chat or take the camera, etc. And it's probably something that I will, attempt to do more, to not really collabs, but you invite your friends and to be part of the stream, and then you have something to bounce back on if you're not sure what to talk about even. Never let someone in real life know you stream.
Horror stories.
I'm fucked.
Yeah. We're both screwed. Well,
The problems that can cause, I can give you a story later on it in Discord.
I will gladly listen to it, Pop. I'll gladly hear it out, because tips on what not to do, or tips to avoid, because, oh boy, those are always useful. So, you mentioned cons, alright, and one of the things that always stand out in cons is the gaming room. So, are you the type that goes in there and is like, I can beat all you in here, and then you proceed to, like, jump on and beat everyone? Or are you the type that goes, I can beat all you in here, then you find out that they all been playing for 10 years even though the game's been out for 5? Is it that kind of thing, or...?
I usually don't play that many games when I am at conventions. I'm more there for the social gatherings. Because, I mean, let's face it, you can play games at home. I prefer to, just stroll around, look at things, sit down and hang out with my friends. Unless if you're actually playing like a group game, for example, Super Smash, Just Dance, like other music rhythm games, Dance Dance Revolution, etc.
So,
I prefer that.
I bring this up because I know you like gaming. So how did you get into gaming?
Well, I mean, I guess I got into gaming like in my early childhood. So I'm diagnosed with ADHD, and like games have been a way of me, I guess, to speed up time and forget the world around me, and trying to stay out of the social bubble, because when I was little, oh boy, I did not like to be in social gatherings. I was pretty awkward, I was kind of introverted, I didn't really know how to do things, but yeah, gaming for me at least has been a lifesaver for many reasons. It's been a way for me to avoid most issues, and yeah, and just fill me with energy, really. No one really helped me get into gaming. It was more something that I discovered myself, and I've been playing games ever since my childhood. I don't play games all that much nowadays. Actually, when I play games, it's usually on a stream. Because now I prioritize my time for like games, etc. a lot less. So streaming has become my game time. But I mostly stream like just chatting, really, to be fair. But yeah, I do like gaming still, but it's not the same as it was before. Probably due to me getting other interests, and really been feeling like gaming has gone downhill. Because, I mean, we can all argue that our childhood was better in terms of quality of games. Let's not bring up like EA or Activision for ruining stuff.
Back in our day.
Back in my old days, we used to not have DLCs.
What is this DLC you speak of?
Or downloadable content, or games that are not finished, games that requires day one patches, and the game companies just trying to do everything in their power to milk you on money,
Yeah.
on microtransactions.
Well, that's the new goal for everyone now. Just milk everyone.
Yeah.
So, with gaming, I know you have a little bit of thing for Major League Game. How did that love get nurtured and turn into what it is? Like, how did you even discover like MLG? Like, how did you discover that?
Yeah, like competitive gaming, etc.
Yeah.
Well, the first game that really gave me like exposure to like esports and like competitive games, like you would actually play a video game instead of like a normal sport. What? And you can actually win money. What is this? Nani? But yeah, League, like Riot Games, they were really hard at pushing the esports scene into like the right direction. And like I was playing League really heavily back in like season 2, season 3, etc. And it's been really a blast. I don't really like any typical sports, but I love like esports, and I wanted to become like a good player and compete in like esports, but that requires a lot of effort, and I was never really willing to dedicate that much time and effort into one thing, because I usually got like bored really easily and had to switch to something else. But esports has been amazing to watch and experience. I've watched like esports in person as well, and yeah, I've been wanting to like join it, but yeah, it's like a dream that I kind of been like, yeah, let's kind of forget about that. There's no point.
You never know, man. Ninja, we gotta remember, people like Ninja and stuff just blew up out of nowhere. It's possible. You can get big. You can be considered one of the greats. You could be like Courage. You can join the 100 Thieves. I believe in you. Getting good with all the other ones. I don't know any League teams. I'm sorry. I don't follow League like that. I watch it once in a while. Is there any team you would like to join? Any team that stands out to you that you're just like, yeah, I want to be on that one?
Well, not really. I mean, I used to be like a Fnatic fan back in the days, but it's not like I really wanted to join a dedicated team. It was more of the line of I wanted to create my own team. So in League, at least, I had a team called Anomaly, and we like tried some like smaller tournaments, etc. It was like super fun to really be on that try hard competitive scene, but I quickly learned that I don't really have what it takes to dedicate and put in like 8 to 10 hours of practice on the same game.
Yeah.
I was like, I got real tired of playing like the same game over and over again. So it was super hard for me to really put in the effort, basically.
So I do got a question. I never see it, from the stands. Is it as bad as it sounds? Is it toxic at those smaller levels? Like how people BM and all that stuff. Is it bad on the lower levels or?
Well, it kind of depends, really. But I haven't really noticed. I haven't really played all that much, to be fair, to really have a opinion about it. So yeah.
Okay, I thought I'd ask because that's always one of those questions of: is there actually people that actually are nice at the lower level, or is it, if there's like a good chunk of the people are like, nah, I'm the best out here, I'm going to do what I got to do. Yeah, I didn't know if there was because I see that here.
There will be always some toxic people in esports, especially like competitive games. There will always be trash talk around teams, etc. But I've never been on like the receiving end as a team. We usually played fun, honestly, and met like random teams that you will never meet again.
Okay, fair enough. I have two questions. One's going to lead into the other one for you. You've mentioned, because on one of your streams in the past, that Sweden has a weird but good symbiotic relationship with Japan. You said there's it's very relevant that there's a good relationship between the countries. Can you explain that? Because I'm really curious on that.
No, it is quite basic, really. Like before the 2000s, when trading, I know that Sweden and Japan used to trade a lot. And I guess in terms of that, it has gotten some attention. Weirdly enough, we've been importing a lot of Japanese stuff without really, I guess, knowing about it as kids. We basically had all of these, common shonen shows, like, Sailor Moon, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and all of this, really big shonen at the time. And every series were also translated into Swedish with proper Swedish dubs, etc. And not in a bad way either. We had some pretty good voice acting, and we had all the manga books translated to Swedish as well. So there was a big interest early on for Japanese pop culture. And I guess that stems from us having a connection with Japan, going back, with trading and all of that. Because as far as I know, Norway, that's literally our neighbor, hasn't had as much of a connection with it until a later date. But I've known so many Swedish people that during their childhood they've been investing in anime, manga, and stuff like that. I, however, didn't really know what that was until high school.
Which was going to lead me to my next question. How'd you get into it? Who's the person that was like, hey, I think you might like this?
So, basically, I had watched all of these shows as a kid, but I never really knew what it was until high school. So in high school, I got exposed to what anime and manga actually were, and that they were originally from Japan, and that the shows I've been watching as a kid is technically originally in Japanese. And I got basically invested because I was in class nerd classes, and most of the people liked it, and it was getting more and more going into the direction of people accepting the fact that it was something that you could like. Yeah, I was gonna get to that point as well, Rosu. Don't forget the fact that we were one of the very few that kept our good relation with Japan during the World War II. The biggest reason for the good relation Japan and Sweden has is thanks to our royal family and the Japanese imperial family having good relations. Yeah, it's been a quite interesting history, and if you want to know more about it, you can really look it up later. I can send you some links, Joe, if you want to read up.
I'm always down for history. You can always send history stuff my way.
But yeah, I guess in a way we've been, more exposed to like the pop culture as well in response, our relation with Japan. And I mean, I've known so many like of my friends that have been growing up in like the millennium years. That's been liking anime manga, and those are the friends that I hang out with these days now. And has he been to the museum in Hiroshima? I was there when I was 8, and unfortunately I cannot get those images out of my mind. They are as vivid if they were only yesterday. So I haven't really been to any museum at all in Japan, honestly, yet. But I would love to, go there once I'm actually moving there. Because I want to experience like the history and like the culture deeply when I'm with the time to do so. And yeah, I mean, Sweden has just been, having this connection, as Roser said, that's been leading into naturally getting more exposure to one and another. And I mean, Japan has like so Japan also has something really fun called Sweden Hills. That's basically a town remade in Swedish architecture, and they celebrate like Swedish traditions as well, like Swedish midsummer, for example. There's a lot of funny videos on YouTube about that, and I mean, so Sweden Hills is literally, expect like row of red houses and Swedish flags, and yeah, it's weird, but it's a real thing. I can potentially see if I can look it up for you guys.
See that? I mean, Japan has a lot of hidden things. That's what I'm going to say about that. They have a lot of hidden things that you wouldn't expect them to have, but then out of nowhere, they do. Like, they have the English village that I saw. Then they have, different... They have, the birthplace or the death place of Jesus Christ himself up in some random hill. But apparently he, he didn't die, where he, like stuff like that. And they have all over, which is very interesting.
But
Yeah,
you can literally just Google Sweden Hills, and you will go and you will see pictures of it. It's it's really bizarre but interesting.
So I do gotta ask, since anytime I talk about anime on this interview, I always gotta ask, what are your top 5? I always gotta ask. If he can't,
boy, I'm gonna get so roasted for this.
Well, I won't say anything. I don't know about your community, but I won't say anything.
Okay, so I'm gonna come out and defend myself.
Go for it. This is your platform.
I haven't really watched that much anime. As I said earlier, I was, getting into like anime, etc. Really late. So I never really watched shows past the 2000s. Like anything prior to that, like I watched like Naruto and Dragon Ball, but it's not like I've watched like Evangelion or some other like really highly rated shows that everyone tells you to look at.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I don't really invest time into watching series. That's the issue. I have so many other stuff that I want to do in life, and that really steals away the time that I could potentially invest. Some would argue that I'm not putting aside time for it because everyone can put aside time for to do hobbies, but like I have other hobbies that I feel like are more of a priority for me. So I do love like anime and manga, the style and everything, but I hardly watch it. I hardly watch any shows or movies at all. The only times I do it is with people. I love watching movies and shows with friends, but I never do it alone. Because if I sit alone by my PC, I'm just gonna have a Twitch stream up or like a YouTube video and like do other stuff, in the meantime.
Yeah,
so I have a real hard time just sitting down. All right, we're gonna prepare, we're gonna bring out the popcorn, I'm gonna sit here for a good few hours and just consume shows. It takes a big effort for me to just do it. And I feel like I miss out on a lot of good stuff. But then again, I do prefer to like watch Twitch and YouTube whenever I'm not like working, streaming, or like playing games or doing something else. I can easily watch Twitch and YouTube content for like 2 to 4 hours per day. But I can't be asked to sit down and watch a 24-minute episode of anime. It's really weird.
Everyone's different. Everyone's got different priorities. I'm not going to knock you for like, no, you should have anime as your top #1 priority. No. Everyone's got different things going on in their life. If you can fit in, you can fit in. If you can't, you can't. It's one of those things. And I'm not going to knock you for not getting to watch like the earlier shows like Cowboy Bebop and stuff like that.
It's so fun because when I say it, people don't trust me. Because, just look at my room. My room is literally decorated with, like, anime stuff and, yeah.
Well, like you said, you're a fan of it and you have watched some. It's not like you're...
I am a fake weeb.
Yeah, I watched the My Heroes and the Sword Art Onlines. I watched them.
Oh yeah, he's been talking about that. He's been mentioning it a few times to me.
Well, you talk about boxing? Yeah, man, I'm telling you. It's a good way. Especially, you get some physical DVDs, man. You sit down. This is not paid advertisement, by the way. I'm just really invested in this company. You sit down, watch it with a bunch of friends, popping on the good old computer here. There you go.
Oh, did I hear ad time?
Did I hear ad time? Sooner or later I'll be sponsored by the man, and then I'll plug him every single chance I get. Have a nice giant logo circle over the whole thing. Look at that. I thought I turned that off, then I didn't turn that off. Oh no. Anyway, that's gonna be...
Oh no, yes, it did.
Oh, I did? Because I heard it on my end. So,
because I don't have the audio on the stream, but I didn't even see anything, so I was like,
hey,
did I even do it
correctly? Yeah, no, it went through, trust me, it caught me off guard. So, okay, I do gotta ask. I gotta get one thing out of you. If you had to choose one you would watch, what is the one you would watch?
Anime?
Yes.
Or...
And that includes, like, movies, anime movies or stuff like that, too.
I really, really enjoyed Your Name. That's like one of these anime movies that I've been watching like 3 or 4 times. And I haven't really watched any movie as dedicated as I have with Your Name.
Mhm.
I'm not sure why. But it's something that I've been, exposing even my family to.
Hey guys, I got a movie for movie night.
I mean, I even suggested it for like a couple of other people's movie nights, so there's that. But it's a good movie. But yeah, that's like one pick that I feel like, yeah, I really enjoyed this. I think the first time I watched it might have been with Rosu even, honestly, in the chat. Because I have watched a few movies with him, but I'm not sure if that was one of them.
Mhm.
But it might even have been it. But yeah, someone did expose me to that, and I got hooked to the movie. So I even own a Blu-ray copy.
I'm dedicated. I'm telling you, I'm dedicated. No, if you like Your Name, I really feel like you'll like Weathering with You or Weathering for You. What is it? Weathering?
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. I saw that in the cinemas here.
Yeah, I did too, and I didn't think I'd cry, but guess what? I cried. So it's one of those things that like it got right here in my heart.
I think I cried. I usually have a hard time crying. When I get emotional, I get real emotional.
So there's only 2 that have made me cry. One out of laughter, one out of like actual emotion. Emotion.
Oh, let me guess the laughter one.
What's the laughter one?
The Konosuba movie.
Yep, like because I even told you, I've said there's only one movie that I've like almost falling out of my chair laughing, and that's the Konosuba movie.
But I mean, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
It was so good, and I got to see it in theaters too. Oh, it just added on so much more, man. Oh, it's so good. I can sit there and like keep saying that over and over again because it's true. And the moment if I can buy it on DVD, I'm probably gonna buy it on DVD. I don't know if it's out yet. Now I'm saying this, I don't know if it's out yet. But let's go on to the one thing that I'm sure everyone wants to know. There's 2 key questions I got going on here, okay?
Oh my.
Well, we know what kind of caused it, but what gave you the push to start streaming? Like, we know what started the idea, but what actually was like, alright, I'm gonna sit down and actually do it.
So there are 2 things, actually. One of them, of course, being that I wanted to find something else to do. So my account on Twitch is as old as 2013. It was created initially in 2013. And then I started streaming a little bit, like in 2015. Just doing test streams here and there. And I would usually do like 2 or 3 streams per year. And then, I would stop, right? I, however, felt like in 2020, I needed something to do to, keep myself occupied. And that's also around the same time frame as I met a really good friend of mine called Nia Rain. And I started watching her streams, and I kind of got really motivated and hooked by, seeing how fun she had. So I'm like, yeah, I've been meaning to, stream more. So I should probably, try it out at least and see how it goes. So I started streaming a little bit more in 2020, but it really was 2021 where I started the push towards, okay, let's try out the schedule, let's try out, trying to elevate the quality of the stream, trying to learn stuff about streaming. And yeah, I went on a big journey, and my friends started to show up in the streams. I've kind of been reconnected with some people through my streams. I've been managed to build a small community place for my friends to hang out. Like, you can probably even see it on my monitor right next to me that there are literally quite few people just sitting around and chatting. Currently, we have 4 people in one voice chat, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 other people watching a movie together. And it's amazing that I managed to create a place for my friends to, be at. And and my Discord is not like about me, as I said previously. It's more about, I just want a place where all of my friends can hang and they can invite their friends and we can make it a lovely place. And if something were to happen, well, we'll deal with it later. And eventually it got to the point where people started to invite their friends, and not everyone came through from my stream. And that's amazing to see, because we're closing in on 100 members now already. And the service, only half a year old at this point? Or more? I'm not even sure when it was created initially. But it had a slow start, but that goes for everything. But yeah, it's been climbing a little bit. And all of my friends have been so supportive as well of my hobbies. I have a few dedicated people that's really been, like, I cannot put into words how much it shocks me, and that they really cared so deeply about me as a person, and it just makes me happy that I can contribute to making other people happy. It's like something I strive towards. And I'm just so glad that streaming really has been an important part of my recovery from like 2020. Me feeling like really depressed and all of that. And, having the stream and the stream has from time to time killed me out of laughter. Because oh boy, I like them, but at the same time they can be real frustrating people to deal with.
But they love you, man. What are you talking about? They love you.
Yeah. Hello, bully the streamer. But yeah, it's always, memes going on where they try to bully me so hard on stream. Out of love, of course. I just need to point it out. And yeah, I've had moments where, I've been dying on the stream because, yeah, we only joke about supporting you, Refuse. The plot twist is...
yeah, you saw my head go. Oh no, Brad.
Oh, they're building up to the cliffhanger. What's gonna happen in season 2? Oh my god. Oh, so this is only the start of 2022, huh?
Yeah, man.
And when I thought things were going good... Oh god. Oh god.
It's fine.
So yeah. And just today, like literally just today, I got this mic arm
I know.
that I'm gonna play around with.
I need to work that out. I miss my mic arm, but I've upgraded mics,
Yeah.
so I kind of can't use it.
So yeah, I just put the temporary place for it. I need to figure out the most optimal way of having the microphone. But yeah, so like previously I was literally using my tripod for my camera as a mic stand on the desk. But now I actually have a floating mic instead, so I'm free to do stuff, and it feels so weird.
I'm not
actually feel
restricted.
a little bit more professional.
So
yeah,
you brought up your community, which brings me to the second question. You got any plans for your community? Is there anything you want to do this year just for them? Because like this year, I went out of my way and I said we're going to watch movies every other weekend, which I've been keeping to. Like tonight, we're going to end up watching movies, which I already know you said you're going to be watching movies too. Just happens to fall into place that way. But I plan on doing that. I'm going to try and do some gaming nights. Is there anything that you want to do for your community as a way of saying thank you for all they've done?
well, the best part about my community is the fact that they do stuff on their own will. Like they actually... So recently we've been basically having like VR set meetups every weekend, and it's just been a common theme. And now they, so Jonte, one of my members, is hosting his like birthday movie night hangout in a Discord, and we're gonna be going into VR chat later. I actually feel real bad because I literally wrote the wrong fucking time in the Discord today. I slept 4 hours today, by the way. So I feel a little bad about that.
Hey, it happens. It happens.
Besides that, there are some big things I want to do, of course. I want to give back to my friends because I guess one of the reasons as to why they're being extra supportive is because have been dealing with issues such as my economy. My economy has been non-existing because I've been dealing with issues with the Swedish government, etc. I've been like living months without even paying rent to my mom, basically, because I haven't had the chance to do so. So one of the things that I want to try to bring back is, through creating experience, through, creating social gatherings. For example, one thing that I recently did that was pretty fun was the fact that few of my friends in a server got together and went to a amusement park. And like I treated everyone to free entrance because, hey, have you ever heard that I used to work in an amusement park? So I'll just let everyone in for free. We had loads of fun together, and I also want to do more like of that stuff to really like try to make fun experience for people. I know I can't really give back in a way of money support in a way, but at the same time I do feel like at the end of the day, if you really care, and it's not about giving, it's about just being nice overall. But I also do plan on giving something back in form of money someday when I have the opportunity to do so. Potentially doing like big giveaways in the future where people have the chance to win, or like Potentially, yeah. For example, my friends, if they were ever to start streaming, I would, be there and just throw subs constantly. um, but I also been. So my birthday is coming up real soon, and I'm planning on hosting a game show, and I want to do like an IRL game show meetup where it's gonna be, streamed. I'm gonna be inviting my, friends that I know would be okay with being on stream, and just having an awesome time together. And then that's only gonna be like the small portion of it, and then afterwards we're just, gonna be taking it, still off stream, doing some other stuff, hanging out, in video set or like anything else in between. And yeah, I just want to say that I'm really fucking grateful for having these awesome friends that I do. That was fun. I just frustrated telemarketer scammer. I also put the phone next to the speaker, so only heard what you guys talking for about a minute.
Yeah, man, spreading the word to
Oh
Joe
my
Schmo.
God.
That's what he's doing. But no, I do have to say though, man, I am glad that we randomly connected through our our means, because through Norm, and then you randomly come looking into me. I'm really glad we met, because like I said, you just showed up out of nowhere, and then you're like, I like this guy. I like this positivity this man's got. And like it's been our friendship's been good. I really enjoy talking to you. I love hopping in your streams. I love watching you get bullied. It's a great experience all around. So and like I said, man, like,
I love seeing you get bullied. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Like, just our like conversations and stuff, man. I loved it. I love everything we talk about. I love everything that I get to see and like hear about. And you already know I'm here for your journey. So whether it be this year or hopefully it's sooner, like maybe in the next couple months, you get going. But I'm here for your journey, and I'm here to support you. I'm always here to support you. Just want to throw that out there while we're in this sentimental mood. And let's see. So we talked about.
I'm glad I just like randomly showed up at your stream. So the best part about Twitch is that I've been getting friends through the platform.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've been on my podcast as well, and now I'm on yours, and we've been talking a little bit and playing a few games here and there, and it's been all great. And I have like other people I've been meeting up. Like, there's a one guy, a French guy that I've been connecting with. So I was playing Dragon Ball Fighters, one of my favorite fighting games. I really love Dragon Ball as a series, and I also love the game Fighters because it's truly the first like esports title coming to Dragon Ball. And I met this random dude online in the maps, and I saw they had TTV at the end of the name, and I completely destroyed his ass. I went into his stream, and I noticed it was French, so I was hesitant to talk for a bit because like, he won't even understand English,
Mm-hmm.
That was my initial thought. But he gave out this really amazing aura, energy. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna type hey there and see if he responds. And he did. And we connected. We connected and bonded through Discord. And he's been really like looking up to me now. And we become like good buddies and potentially gonna meet up sometime in the future. And he's been coming into my streams, being super awesome, throwing subs, donations, and like telling me that I've really been helping him out because he's been dealing with some issues lately, and he's like really happy that we are friends basically. And I mean, we've been playing. We share this common interest of the game that we love, and we've been building a friendship on that. Literally been laughing our asses off when we play the game, and it's been amazing. And then I have other people, for example, Nia Rain, that, well, I kind of met Nia Rain through like the Japanese course I did, but I guess in a way we bonded a little bit in real life, but we also bonded through the Twitch platform. And I've been watching a lot of her streams, and she's been to my streams as well, and it's been really amazing. We really been building up a good friendship, and it's been super great. Question: what is Refuse channel name?
Well,
is this the time I get to shout out myself?
Yeah, sure. Go throw your link in there. Then I meant to tag in.
Yeah, you can.
There you go. Because you brought up the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Your podcast. So what I really want to know: why did you start the podcast? What was the driving force of like, I think I should do a podcast?
Now that's a really good question, because never would I ever thought that I would do a podcast, because prior to my streaming I've been very incapable of having as we do, just chatting portions on Twitch. I had a big issue of just being social and talking about random stuff. But with the recent work that I've been doing at the amusement park and the recent all of the streams that I've been doing, I've really been building up my ability to just ramble about nonsense. About everything, really. And I've been a heavy fan of the Trash Taste podcast with the trio boys, Joe, Garnt, and Connor. I watched every single episode, and I also really loved listening to Tokyo Lens podcast and Abroad in Japan's podcast. So I've been listening to all of these Japan-based YouTubers podcasts, and it was also during the time where I was not feeling very well, so I would go out on really long walks and just listen to this 1 to 2 hours straight podcast. And that kind of was the driving force into, I should potentially try to create the own podcast, because I had recently been enjoying doing just chatting a lot. So I'm like, should I potentially do my own podcast episodes? So I tried it out. I literally made, in the first week, in the span of a week, I did 4 episodes straight, because I enjoyed it so much. And then recently I had to take a small break from it, because my work schedule didn't really line up. So I had a co-host with me at the time, and it didn't really line up, so we had to cancel a few episodes. One time we did a YouTube special episode, and then eventually I quit the amusement park job because they are not even open now. So I didn't really quit, but I completed my work contract. So I've recently got a new job that is a Monday to Friday job. So I have every weekend free. So that means I can actually produce a podcast episode every Sunday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. Be there. But yeah, my podcast episodes have been the proudest project that I've done in recent time. And I look forward to it every single week now. And that's kind of what's been like the track space boys is really what really gave me the push towards like, yeah, they seem like to have loads of fun, just three friends bantering about random stuff. And yeah, I wanted to do that the same. So yeah, I've been doing it, and episode 15 is dropping this Sunday with another guest. And yeah, we're already on episode 15, and the amount of support I've been getting, like anywhere from like 15 to like 30 viewers. And then we've been getting raids, big fat stacked raids, and we've been sitting at like 60, 70 viewers. And it's crazy, I tell you. I love it. But yeah, that's basically how I started.
So, is there any you want to give the crowd a little bit of like, what is it? How do I want to describe this? A sneak peek of things you have planned for the podcast this year? Anything that you can say, and you don't want to spoil it too much?
Well, for me at least, it's more like I want to produce more episodes, right? And I've been thinking about doing like 4 episodes a month, so every Sunday. And then, at the end of the month or at the start of next month, I plan in a extra additional special episode where I have something, planned up, be it, an extra special guest, or I have like my co-host plus guest or something else. Recently, I've been basically interviewing like what we are doing now, my friends. So I've had 2 cosplayers join me on stream, 2 awesome friends. One of them being Mamamoo, and the other being Sandra Cosplay. And those those episodes have been so fun to do because like we just work as like a duo, jumping back and forth, and it's just completely good vibes. Sorry, my typing comes at the odd times and might be delayed response. I'm doing the work lurk while listening, and I tend to focus more on work, so my response come when I have free couple of seconds. Don't need to read this out. you had to end. You had to.
It's all good, Pops. It's good. It's good. It's all good.
Couldn't you like have the start of the message? Don't need to read this out loud.
It's all
Why are you doing me like this?
It's all part of the bully. He's getting paid to bully you. This is all part of the bully tactics. Your chat's reached out to mine and like, all right, look, we need you to do this for me. Maybe that's part of the plot twist.
Wait. Is that why I've recently been on the receiving end of even more bullying? Are you paying my viewers to bully me?
I am not doing such a thing. I would never do such a thing, sir. You can look at Rozu. He's probably the one behind. Anyway, so like I was gonna say, so about your goals for 2020.
Well, I guess the stream is over. Bye.
Yeah, bye. Click. So I do want to go over some things before we go off. I am curious, and I know there are some more technical people in here. So what's your equipment layout for your stream? Go.
Oh boy, the most amazing question to ask. So, what should we start out with? like I said earlier, I just recently got a new fancy mic arm. Nothing like super expensive or anything. It requires a lot of force to push down, but I'm guessing because it's like completely new. But yeah, I like. So when I started, you know, like I should really get into streaming. I got this fancy Elgato Wave microphone from Elgato. And the reason why I got this microphone was because it has a built-in sound mixer. And usually when it comes to sound mixers, you need to like buy a proper thing to have on your desk, and those cost like a few $1,000 or whatever it is in your currency. But yeah, you need to buy that. You need to buy a XLR microphone, and the cost of everything is super expensive. But then Elgato released this USB microphone with a software bundle that allows you to basically do volume mixing. So it adds like additional audio sources to OBS, and it's really amazing. I can potentially even show you guys this live on this stream. Let me see here. I can. We can do like this. If it will. Oh, technical issues. How would?
Who'd have thought?
But yeah, so I can basically show off this right here. So this is basically the sound, like the volume mixer software, where I have like my microphone voice set. So when Joe's talking, he shows up here. And you have music, browser, OBS, Streambot, MPV player, game, and everything is controlled through the use of my Stream Deck, basically. So I have a phone right next to me here. I have the app Stream Deck installed. Right now, I don't have the app launched on my PC. So it will just give me error message. But with it, I can switch scenes. And while it switches the scenes, it actually modifies the audio levels for everything as well. So like my phone controls like the sound mixer with the software because it's made by the same company. So it has that smart integration. So I literally bought the Elgato Wave 1 microphone just solely because of the bundle software. And overall, the sound quality of the microphone is, you know, acceptable and decent. And yeah, that's like the microphone. And then I have like my more so-called fancy webcam. I have like a budget Canon M50 with a Sigma lens, a f1.4, like a wide aperture, to basically increase the image quality a little bit. And then I have like basically all my lights. I can, for example, do like this. Hey Google, turn off the lights. And then
movie night. Let's go.
Yeah, one of my lights is not connected right now, but now I have like my Christmas lights back in the corner here. But yeah, I usually have one light here, the globe here, and then I have another one in that corner, and then I have like a face light here, and then I have like, so actually if I were to turn off this one as well, that's the light coming from my PC to like light up a little bit of my face here. And I have, you know, the key light here and the lights behind me. Hey Google, turn the lights on. And then I can do it like this. But yeah, it's super awesome. All of my light bulbs are called Leafix. I just typed it in the chat here. Google, be quiet. I don't want to know about Wikipedia. Come on.
Yes, you do. Don't lie. Google knows everything. They know you want to learn.
Find out more. Look for a link in your mobile app.
No.
No, thank you. You're
No, I
disturbing.
refuse.
Yes. But yeah, then I have like I only have 2 monitors, sadly. But I want the third one. And yeah, if any one of you guys have like Google Homes, I'm terrible sorry if you're playing with speakers on. Sorry for triggering your Google Homes. But yeah, I have as my main monitor, I have a 240 Hz G-Sync panel, and I have just the ordinary 60 Hz panel on the side here for my OBS and stuff. And with my PC setup, it's a custom-built PC, a Ryzen 3900X, so that's a 12-core, 24-thread CPU, awesome for live streaming. And then that's paired with a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1080 Ti GPU. I said GPU 2 times, don't mind me. And that's combined with like a dedicated sound card, sound blaster, and bunch of like Noctua coolers. Pretty high-tech motherboard combined with everything.
Sorry, my roommate's in here asking about food. I think he's asking about food.
And yeah, that's like the main like hardware. And then I have, you know, my keyboards. I have a Razer keyboard here, just something I've been using for a good few years. And one of my more favorite mouses, actually, the Logitech G900 mouse. Really good. I absolutely love this one. I even changed the feet on this at one time because they were getting heavily used. So I needed new gliders. I have 2 phones here. So one of them being my old OnePlus 6T. It was a really good phone at the time, but the battery started to wear out a little bit. And just recently, I got a new phone, a pretty like cheap phone, and it was even on sale. So I bought it for 1,989 crowns. You can do the conversion yourself, but it was hella cheap. So I just got it as basically extra streaming phone to use, and it's really been awesome.
For $216.31 US dollars for those people.
Yeah, so and for the rest of the gear that I have, like a PS5 controller that I use to play my fighting games with, I have like, you know, when I play like VR, I have like a Quest 2 that I hook up to my PC to play VR games. And you know, when I hang out with my friends in VR set, it's been, oh boy, this thing, the Oculus Quest 2 and VR in general has been a lifesaver when it comes to COVID and restrictions and not being able to meet up with your friends. You meet up with them in virtual space instead, and it kind of feels like you're actually there with them. You know, running up, giving them hugs, and if you never played VR set or any other type of games in VR, and never gotten that sense of feeling that you're close to someone, it's really hard to describe. It's kind of scary at times how real it feels, but yeah. That's been really important in COVID times. I highly recommend, if you feel lonely, to get the VR headset. Really worth every penny. And like, I have a random console, Nintendo Switch, Super Smash Edition, that I like hardly ever use.
Yep, I'm here with you. I got it right here. Take it to work with me. Never use it. It's just always with me.
Yeah, like, well, that's, I guess, pretty much it. I mean, yeah, I have a really old iPhone that I use as a stream deck. Yeah. Have like bunch of random stuff like Logitech speakers on the desk. But overall, yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to like hardware. And then I have like bunch of like anime figurines where you can't really see them. I can potentially show you that if you give me time for it.
I was gonna say you don't need to stress it if you don't want to.
If you have any,
well,
if you guys, so people that are watching, if you guys have any questions about like hardware or streaming in general, I'm more than happy to answer your questions because I feel like I'm really invested and I know a lot about that category.
Yes,
and I can
probably
argue that you should probably listen to me more than others when it comes to recommendations because I do my research.
So I do got a question because I am thinking about getting a VR headset. I want to get a Quest 2 because it's like $300. It's gonna be one of those goals. It's one of those things that I really want to get. What is the minimum requirement? And if so, and if you know, does my system meet within the requirement? That's the real question.
So what were you having right now? 980 Ti, right?
Yes. I'm going
so
everything.
the thing with Quest 2 is that you can use it as a standalone device, meaning you don't. It has hardware built inside, so you can actually play it anywhere. It has like phone spec hardware in a headset, but you can connect it to a desktop PC like I do, like wireless streaming. And the Quest 2 is a really good device, but you need to remember that it's cheap for a reason. Facebook has probably been losing money on making the headset because it is so cheap. But they've been pushing towards, like ads and stuff in like the software built into the headset. But you can circumvent that using, like I do. I stream all my games through like Steam VR on the PC instead. And the headset itself is super good if you just want to get into VR. And that was the whole point of the selling argument for Facebook to get more people on the Facebook platform and to milk them on ads in the future that they never told they would add at the start, but it was obvious. The Quest 2 is a ad supported device, and that meaning that it gets ads to circumvent the cost they lost. Data is data, and data is heavily expensive. But I did see some comments earlier that I just wanted to respond to. Like Reasonable Priority said, I'm always impressed by with refuse lighting on stream, and I really do appreciate that comment. I still kinda only have like budget lighting set up, but in the future I do plan on getting like proper, more expensive stuff when I can afford it.
I was about to say, if you look at mine, if I could just properly as I block it every like turn I take, like right down here, I got some new stuff I'm experimenting with. Like I got another one right here that's not even open, and I can control it from my phone. And I'm trying to I gotta find a good spot. Yeah, I'm trying to find a good spot for it. Because I want to increase my lighting too, so like,
But something that you need to also know when it comes to lighting is that try to cover up your windows and try to make it so you can control you can actually be in control of your light sources. So use like blindness that I have to block out daylight and really tweak it to your heart's content. And sometimes having less light can be better if you want to create a more quote-unquote cinematic look.
Mm-hmm.
So like have a proper key light, and then you have like background lights, and not like overdo it, because if you start introducing a lot more lights, it might, you know, take away from like the dark areas, the dark shadows that gives contrast to the overall image. If I were to just flip a switch on one of these random lights here, sir, the image gets a lot brighter, but you start to lose like more of that dark contrast in the background, and that light kills off a little bit of, you know, the theme that I'm trying to go for, like orange purple is. But yeah, to be fair, I've been watching 100+ of like different YouTube videos going over the same thing and trying to digest all of that information about, you know, having a key light, having a fill light, having a backlight, for example, like your hair, having, you know, decoration lights, and etc. And like the camera angle. The camera angle might actually be like one of the most important aspects, because, you know, trying to frame it. So if I were to sit like this kinda, you see that the light behind me is like filling up my background, my silhouette here, and it looks pretty nice. And then you have like more colorful light in the corner. Well, lighting is all about control and balance. Exactly. Too much, yeah, takes away from the quality.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out, because that was just a void back here, which is why I have the purple light, because I want to get some purple in here, because purple is my favorite color. So I'm trying to like get some backlighting, at least to show off the collection back here. So that way, you know, if people are trying to like, oh look, you know, I see a collector's edition of Persona 5 back there, you know, that kind of thing. So, well, I have one more question to start wrapping things up, sir. What's your goals for Twitch for this year?
This year, to try to hit like 1,000 followers would be nice, and like that's probably a small goal, but you know, that's something I would at least like to see. I'm currently at, I think it's 410, if I'm not mistaken. No, 411 actually. Thank you, Mpop, for joining my community. But yeah, now we're 411. But yeah, 1,000 followers, and you know, having like increased my average view count from like 15 to potentially double the amount would be cool, like 30, 40 plus average viewers. And I think that's like mostly it when it comes to like numbers. I don't want to like aim super big and get disappointed. I think doubling my view count and getting to 1,000 followers seems reasonable if I put in the effort and time into it. And when it comes to like my dream goals, is that I could eventually make this into something I can live off. And my biggest dream, my absolute biggest dream, would be to move to Japan, be able to stream there, do like streaming YouTube, and not feel like the need that I need to look up a part-time job. If I can get enough money to survive, like literally survive, you know, house rent, food, I'm more than happy. Like if I can actually go around, explore Japan, have an awesome time, and having an income from like streaming and YouTube that's justifiable to keep me economy-wise worryless, then that would be the biggest dream ever, honestly. But yeah, then I also have like, I want to do all this sort of awesome stuff on stream. But yeah, that's probably my goals, honestly, for the year.
See, mine are about half as yours. I'm like, I just want to reach 500 on each platform. That's all I want. Simple. That's what I want. And then I'm waiting to get... My friend's trying to get me his Ring Fit, but he got sick with COVID. So I'm waiting for that before I even go and try and touch it. So, I mean, it saves me like $70, $80, so I can wait. But, like, that's another thing. I want to get active. I want at least do one workout, like, thing a week. Or try to. So that way everyone can laugh at me as I'm sitting there trying to, like, do this, like, thing with the ring and all that stuff. But, no, me and you have the same end goal, though. If I can make just enough to pay my bills, get my food, and then have some, like, be able to, like, travel and go around and do some videos in Japan and stuff, and, like, move there, that's, like, the ideal. That is the top. That is the top goal honestly, that I'm going for.
Like, honestly speaking, I would not need more than that to be happy. Like, actually truly happy, you know, with life and the direction they're going. I mean, I'm kind of happy with what I have now, of course. But you always want to strive for your goals, right? And to be able to live a dream beyond of what you're currently having. It's not like I'm trying to say that I think I deserve more. It's more like a dream that I want to achieve. And if not, I'm still happy with life in general, you know. Well,
on that beautiful note, sir, it is time for you to start using your spill. Throw everyone everything you're on. Tell them where to find you. Tell them where to go see you. What time, who, what, where, when. It is your floor. Go for it.
So yeah, recently I've been trying to get the streaming schedule going because I have a new job with set hours. So that means I will be able to have a proper streaming schedule for once. Because I've always been bound to like work that can happen whenever. You know, sometimes I'm free on Monday, sometimes I'm free on Wednesdays, sometimes I'm free on Saturdays, and everything in between. But now I have Monday to Friday job, so I'm gonna be streaming like Tuesday, Thursdays, Sundays, like 3 times a week. The times may vary a little bit, but my podcast episodes on Sundays will always be 6 p.m. Central European Time. So if you want to catch anything when it comes to my streams, I would highly recommend to at least attend like the podcast episodes because they are usually entertaining, and I'm actually proud enough to say that they are pretty good. Ricecast podcast. So there we have that. I of course have my Twitch channel. Consider joining me there, and I'm just gonna bring up my Discord community.
And keep in mind, all those watching this on YouTube, because this is where this is going to end up. And this is going to be one of the rare ones where you actually get to see the video feed. It's a fun fact. All the links will be down below. This is currently live on Twitch, so, you know, twitch.tv/Joshua and twitch.tv/refuse_PC. So, you know, a little bit there, but yeah, everything he's mentioned will be down below. And
yeah, and then you of course have like me on Instagram, Twitter. Consider joining me there as well if you ever want to see something in the future in regards to Japan. Gonna throw this one in here as well. I'm not being super active on Twitter, so it doesn't really matter for that part. But yeah, those are probably the most important ones. My Twitch stream, my Discord, and yeah, my Instagram. I need to get more active on the other social platforms, but overall, it's my stream that counts and the Discord server. So if you want to support me, you know, just drop a follow on the Twitch stream and come around whenever you have the chance. If you never are able to, that's fine. I have many people that, you know, show up like every now and again, and it's always fun to, you know, see them as well. But yeah, that's it for me, I guess. If you like to have some awesome like just setting content, people abusing channel points, because that's the thing.
oh yeah.
If so, there's a lot of clips on my channel. I'm supposed to make a highlight of my clips, but yeah, there's been moments where people are spamming channel points and activating these redemptions, like proper cool memes, and just creating chaos. And yeah, consider dropping by. I do like game streams every now and again, everything from like Dragon Ball Fighters to League of Legends to other co-op games like community games. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Also, thank you everyone for like tuning in, and thank you Yo for inviting me on a interview podcast episode. This is
it's not a problem,
probably
bud.
one of the first times where someone is interviewing me about my life.
And like I said, for like Joe's Corner, I'm trying to interview all different people of the internet. I just getting, you know, a nice round little thing. But yeah, I think this is where we're gonna end it. So I'm gonna go send us our over to one of my friends. Used to work with him on Mobile Gaming News Network. For those who have been here around long enough, for those who don't know, we used to work on a mobile gaming website together. But he's almost at 1,000 followers. So make sure you spread some love. Show some Bidoof if you got the emo. If not, just tell him Joe sent you. But for now, I guess this is goodbye. Bye, everyone.
Take care. Thank you for joining.